Ladies and gentlemen, good morning on this Monday morning. It is March 20th, 2023. I'm standing alongside the Polderaan. I hope you guys are hearing me alright. I am doing a little test stream this day. Hey there Laura, good morning, good to see you again, hope you're doing well. I already had a camera rain cover, that was the name I was looking for. Vinci Kali, good morning. So I already had it. I figured might as well try testing it out. I did already do a test run before my first live stream back in the day, a few months ago. Don't look at the ticker, I haven't updated it, although the runway usage today is still the same, so that still applies. Hey there Carlos Rivera, good morning, nice to see you. Jeff Whitcomb, good morning. Hey Vic, goedemorgen, good morning. RFS Pilot 7, good morning. Glad that you're confirming that you hear me loud and clear. David Vega, good morning. From Puerto Rico, undoubtedly better weather over there than it is over here. It's a drizzly day. Hey, photo for you, goedemorgen. So as I was saying, I am just testing things out. The thing I was most concerned about is the sound quality. Also, it is a bit more difficult for me with the rain cover over my camera to first of all operate it and also to see the screen properly. So I'm hoping I'm able to follow things properly. And I also noticed that when it is raining and I have to look at my camera screen from a different angle, that next time I need to put my tripod a bit higher, because now I have to bend down a little to properly view the screen. So this is not very ergonomical, but that's why this is a test stream. I'm mostly concerned about the sound, not so much that things stay dry. I have an Orca rain cover securely around the camera, although my phone, which is on my phone mount over here, is a bit exposed, but my phone is waterproof, so that shouldn't be an issue, although I do have a USB plug fed into it to make sure that the battery stays full. I use a power supply. I have it wrapped in 2 garbage bags, so shouldn't be an issue that it gets wet. I already have a laptop tent that is waterproof and also provides shade when it is sunny to properly see the screen. Now I have to zoom in and out with my hand under the rain cover, so it might be more noisy. Also, back in the day when I was doing my first test in the rain, I was still having sound that wasn't optimal. Particularly, it took a little while for me to get the shotgun mic set properly so that you guys can hear things well. And yes, photo for you, the destination Dubai A380, 3rd consecutive day in a row that it's going to come this way. At the moment, both runway 18 right and runway 27 are in use for landings. Departures still take place from runway 24 and from runway 18 left. I'm happy to see all the positive feedback. Sound seems to be really good. I will definitely look it back when I get home. I'm also hoping that I will still be able to give you some information from flight radar, but for now I only have the chat open on my phone. There's the 777. Now if I don't zoom, I only have to operate the handle. Let's see how that goes. Zooming in and out is perhaps a bit more handy. Now the weather, as you probably can tell and hear, it's drizzling. The rain is not hard, but if you stay out for longer than 10 minutes you will definitely get wet. So bear with me folks, just checking how everything is going today. Jerry, thank you so much for your super chat and good morning to you. Checking in from PDX, Portland, Oregon, if I'm not mistaken. And Nia, good morning to you too. Make sure to send some of that sunshine in your message over here. And Benjamin, goedemorgen, good morning. Have a great week. Well, the week is off to a good start with drizzly weather. Let's see. If I check flight radar, there's an Embraer 190 from KLM coming in from London City. After that, an A321neo coming in from Athens, from Aegean. A 737-900 from KLM coming in from Birmingham. A 737-800 from KLM coming in from Munich. And another Embraer 190 coming in from Dublin, that is from KLM. Will there be any heavies coming soon? Well, I'm zooming out on flight radar as we speak. Don't see them just yet, although there is a 757 from Iceland Air coming in that is now flying towards the Netherlands. Let me zoom in again. Go back to the chat. I'm going to try. Let's see. Oh yeah, next time in the rain I definitely need to put my tripod higher because I'm bending down to properly look at the camera screen. The configuration is also a bit more difficult because the rain cover is a bit tight, so I cannot swing out the camera screen and stand behind it as I normally would. Now where is that? Oh, there it is. So I have it flipped around and it's now pointing outward, but in the same position as when the screen normally is closed. So it's on the side of my camera, which allows me to look at it properly because there's a rain cover in front of it with rain droplets on it, making it more difficult to see. And here's the A321neo from Aegean. So I also need to walk around my tripod as I pan the camera to the right more than I normally would, which whenever I take a step can cause for a little shakiness in following the airplane. Oh yeah, this is not the best ergonomical position. Oh well, lesson learned. I take notes for the next time. Jerry says it's also raining in Portland. I thought I heard on the news this morning that it is the first official day of spring today, but so far doesn't really seem like spring, rather like fall. The temperature is also a bit lower than over the weekend. We're now in the high single digits in centigrade again, so that's just below 50 Fahrenheit. Wind still blowing from the south. My apologies for not being able to track the airplanes as smooth as I normally would be able to. I'm semi-crouched in a bit of an awkward position. When setting up, it looked like an okay height, but my tripod is actually a bit too low at the moment. Need to place that a bit higher. And I see that rain droplets on my phone apparently engage the touchscreen so that the chat closes again. Alright. Floziza asks if this is my full-time job. It isn't, but I wouldn't be disappointed if I could make a full-time job out of it. But tomorrow and Wednesday and Thursday I have other obligations. I was looking to go out and stream yesterday, but as you guys might have seen, the weather itself was not so bad, but the visibility throughout the day was poor. Fog in the morning, and even later in the day, in the afternoon, it was still very much hazy. Now, due to the rainfall, visibility is not that great, so we aren't able to see the airplanes very far in advance. And where is it on my camera screen? Oh, there it is. A little hard for me to make out where the airplane is. Here another KLM Embraer. Really looking forward to look at the stream back when I get home. Really curious how the sound will be, what the sound will be like. Still struggling with one issue. When it is windy, you get crackling. And yesterday evening too, I tried figuring out what it was, but still wasn't able to find the underlying cause. I'm thinking it might be wind related, because when it's wind still, there isn't any issues. Hey Bart, goedemorgen. It is a bit rainy. definitely. But I still don't have the entire area to myself. There are other committed people coming out to look at what's going on over here when it's raining. Ed G, good morning. Hopefully things are good over there in Buffalo, New York. How long it takes to taxi from 1-8 right to the terminal? Well, it depends on a couple of factors. First of all, how quickly and how hard does the pilot brake? Also, at the moment, Bart remarks wind noise cancelling option. I think on the Canon XA40 that I'm using there isn't one. There is an option that is noise attenuation, but that just generically lowers the volume with 20 dB or so. Otherwise I wasn't able to find anything that is related to noise or wind cancellation, unfortunately. The taxi over here from where this airplane now is back to the gate is approximately 15 minutes, depending on where they need to be, on which gate. If it's on the far side of the terminal building, might be a few minutes longer. At the moment, and still for a couple of weeks, Runway 18 Center, 36 Center is still closed for maintenance. And normally speaking, when these airplanes taxi back to the main platform area, they cross 18 Center, 36 Center, somewhere in the middle, where they also enter the main platform area. However, at least over the weekend, they weren't able to do so because the runway was still closed. So that means that if you need to be at a gate at the north side of the terminal building, you need to go down runway 18 Center, go around the threshold, and then taxi back up again, and then you can go to your gate. So that increases taxi time with at least 5 minutes, I would guess. So let me have a look. Coming in now is KLM flight 1472, KLM City Hopper Embraer 190 coming in from Lyon, France. The airplane is 13 years old and was delivered in January 2010. Where is it? Where is it? Am I past it already? Hard for me to see. Let me zoom out a little. Oh, it's already passed. Yeah, panning is really a pain in the you know what. If you need to walk around your tripod to keep looking at the monitor, at the camera screen, a bit more involved. So let me have a look. Next up is another Embraer 190 from KLM. It's flight 1188 coming in from Bergen, Norway. It's an Embraer 190 airborne now for almost an hour and 15 minutes. The airplane 13 years old, delivered in July 2009. We're also expecting one of the shortest flights there is, other than relocation flights, the KLM flight coming in from Brussels. There's an E2 Embraer 195 coming in from Edinburgh, and the the 757 from Iceland Air is also getting closer and closer, but still, what is it? 15 minutes, flight radar says, out. There's also there are also 2 heavies inbound. 3. First one, a Dreamliner coming in from Minneapolis from KLM. There's a 777 coming in from Rio de Janeiro, and still over the east of England, another A330 from KLM coming in from Calgary. Next up, the Embraer 190 coming in from Bergen. You're welcome, Michael Nobis. You're welcome. This is mostly a test stream for me to see how the sound holds when I have a rain cover over my camera. As I was saying before, when I was testing before my first public live stream, I also did a rain test once before, but back then I still was tweaking all the sound variables. And here we can see the Embraer appear. Now, where is it? I think I have it. Or not. Oh yeah, I did have it, but the camera wasn't focused. Hey Bart, thanks for joining us. See you again around the runways sometime soon, undoubtedly. And Peppy Pittel, guten Morgen. Steve J, good morning, welcome to the stream. And also asking how long I will stream for today. Well, I don't know yet. Seems that everything is holding up quite nicely so far. So yeah, let's see, it's 11:30 already. What's the ETA on today's Emirates A380? If it's in an hour or so, I will definitely stick around for that. I mean, got everything set up. Looking in my laptop then to all the equipment, seems that everything is still dry. I also, for security measures, set all my equipment up elevated, so even if there was water creeping into the laptop stand, it still wouldn't be able to get into the equipment. The only weak spot is the USB cable that is stuck in my telephone, but I think as long as it stays in, chances of it shortcutting is very slim. Also, there's a case around it, so that provides some cover for the moisture. Photo for you says that the ETA for the A380 is approximately 12:30, so that's in an hour from now. Well, things keep going the way they have been so far. I intend to stick around for that. Do see that the wind is picking up just a little bit, maybe. Let me put up let me just do a little reinforcement of the laptop tent. It is wrapped in a bag and held together with a few what's the word I'm looking for? A few bands that I can also attach around my laptop tent and make sure that the wind doesn't tip anything over on the inside by reinforcing the outside. So I'm just doing that. There, that should do it. It ensures me that everything is going to stay the way it is right now. So we are seeing the next plane coming in just now. Let me see if I can zoom in a bit further. Hard for me to see what you guys are seeing, so I'm still looking back to the laptop screen. I think I have it. There she is. Now folks, if you're liking what you're seeing, even though this is just a test stream, if you're new to the channel and you're liking what you're seeing, consider subscribing if you haven't done so already. It allows you to turn on notifications so that whenever I go live in the future, you receive a heads up and can join us if you have the time for it and are feeling like it. Because it helps me to reach more people like you and me who are into content like this. Boeing 737 in the Sky Team livery. Let me go back. Hey Kathleen, good morning. Welcome to this test stream. All other viewers who have meanwhile joined us, welcome to AMS Live on this rainy Monday morning. Just doing a test of my equipment, how it holds out in the how it holds up in the rain, particularly the sound quality. I'm very curious to find out, because when I did my initial testing before the first live stream, the first public live stream, I was also still having sound issues, and now I think that is pretty much on point. So now I can see what difference having a rain cover covering my camera and most part of my shotgun mic that is mounted on the camera, what effect it has, and if it makes the sound poor or not. So far the feedback from you guys has been very positive. I'm really thrilled to hear that. As I'm trying to find the airplane. Has it passed already? Of course it has. Here, clearly recognizable, one of KLM's E2 Embraers. Look at the size of those big engines. Also, one of the take-home messages is that I need to put my tripod more elevated next time I will go out in rain, because I'm now crouching a little to see things properly. Also, the orientation of the camera screen is different from what it normally would be, which means I basically need to stand on the side, the left side of my camera, and it makes following it a bit more difficult. I think zooming out a little provides you a better image, and I see that my camera nose points down each time I reach for the zoom button that is on my camera, which means that my right hand will need to go under the rain cover. And Steve J also confirming that the sound is good. Really happy to hear that. I look forward to checking it out once I get back home again later. For now, we are still out here, and if today's Emirates will not get any delays, we will see it land in an hour or so, hopefully on this runway, because the runway configuration is the same as it has been over the weekend, which means this runway is open the entire time, but depending on how busy it gets, runway 27 also gets used for landings. And if that would be the case, by the time the A380 enters Dutch airspace, as it's coming from the east and runway 27 faces west, makes for a more direct approach to go to runway 27. So fingers crossed that by the time the A380 reaches the Netherlands, this will be the only runway open for landings. Okay, let's see. First, point the camera back to the general direction of the inbound traffic, like so. Now let's have a look on my phone and see what is coming in. First up will be an Embraer 175 from KLM coming in from Bremen, Germany, flight 1754. Short flight, departed just 33 minutes ago, and the airplane we're about to see is 7 years old, delivered in March 2016. It will be followed by the Boeing 757 Iceland Air Flight 500 coming in from Reykjavik, a flight of 2.5 hours as we speak. The airplane, 25 years old, delivered in November 1997 and still in the old livery of Iceland Air. Let's see. James Daly, good morning. Henke, good morning. By the looks of it, my chat window on my telephone is not showing all messages. Oh yeah, top chat. Let's change that to live chat. Maybe refresh the page. Missed a lot of messages. Sorry about that. And I also see that the next plane is coming in, so let me see if I can capture that for you guys. I think it's over here. I can make it out just barely. No reverse thrust for this Embraer. And exiting over here where the first exit of the runway is. Henke asks if it's raining. What makes you think that, Henke? And Jerry Donnelly says boot shoes are best in rain. Well, I have my what's the word? I think it's wellies, the Wellingtons, the rain boots. I have rain boots on, and also rain pants. My parka is rain resistant, water resistant up to, what is it, 20,000 millimeters of rain or so. Ina, good morning. I think Bart already left. He had to do other things, so I think he's already gone. So in an hour from now, if it's going to come to this runway, we will see the Emirates A380 in the destination Dubai livery once again. We saw it already come in on Saturday. It was also coming to the Netherlands yesterday, but weather was really poor. Well, at least visibility was poor. We had fog in the morning, and even during the day it didn't get much better. Wanted to go out, but I decided maybe another time. The Boeing 757, nicknamed the Pencil, also becoming more of a rarity these days. Exiting over here at the first exit as well. And back to the gate it is for this airplane. Now the next airplane to arrive is KLM flight 656. It is a 7879 Dreamliner. It's coming in from Minneapolis, and the airplane is 6 years old and was delivered in August 2016, and it's airborne now for 7 hours and 21 minutes. Oh, wait a minute, I was zoomed out too much. First we have an Embraer 175 from KLM, flight 1740, coming in from Luxembourg. Shorter flight, 48 minutes. Airplane, also 6 years old. This one delivered in February 2017. Where is it? Hard for me to make out, probably already a bit further ahead. Yeah, figure that. She's keeping up the speed. Exiting at a later exit, but making sure to vacate in time for the Dreamliner behind it. Speaking of which, let me turn around the camera, because we are waiting for it. And Jerry Donnelly asks, 10 degrees there. Yes, it is a bit colder. I forgot to update the ticker with the weather of today. Runway usage is still current, so that is the same as yesterday. It's now a bit colder. I think it's 8 or 9 degrees, but don't pin me down on that. So high 40s in Fahrenheit. Here's the Dreamliner, the 7879, coming in from Minneapolis. 6 years old. And one of the bird controllers, K4, making sure everything stays safe, prevent bird strikes as much as possible from happening. Meanwhile, the rain interferes with my phone screen, so I was checking your chat and messages, but it was completely zoomed in for some reason. I think the droplets are also responsive or trigger the touchscreen. So coming in next is Air France Hop, the daily Embraer 170 coming in from Rennes. Air France flight 1030, a flight of 1 hour and 10 minutes. The airplane 14 years old, delivered in November 2008. Behind it will be a Boeing 737-800 from KLM, flight 1822, an hour-long flight coming in from Berlin in Germany, 11 years old, and was delivered in May 2011. And the Embraer exiting over here at the first exit, making room for the A380. Michael Painter, good morning. So this is the Boeing 737 from KLM coming in from Berlin. Another high-speed passage. Obviously, pilots are keen to reduce the taxi time as much as they can, particularly the KLM pilots. Seems like they have an incentive, company policy or something. Maybe they even have financial incentives, I don't know, but you'd almost think it, because you do see a lot of the KLM pilots keeping up the speed. So let me turn around. Hey there, James, good evening to you. Checking in from Australia, where weather is undoubtedly a bit different from what it is over here. Hope you're doing well. All other viewers who have meanwhile joined us, thank you so much for joining. Welcome to AMS Live on this rainy Monday morning. This is a test stream to see how everything is holding up in the rain, and particularly the sound, because my camera and my shotgun mic are wrapped up in a rain cover, so I imagine that does have an effect on the audio quality. When I was testing in the rain before my first public live stream few months ago, I was also still struggling with optimizing the sound from the shotgun mic and also the lavalier mic that I use to do the voiceover, the commentary. And I think I've made some progress in optimizing those, so figured it was time again to see how things hold up in the rain, because I do have the equipment for it to go out in the rain. Just making sure that everything works properly. Also, as I learned shortly after going live, when you're over here you need to put the tripod a bit higher because of the different angle that you're looking at the screen. Also notice that zooming out for passing airplanes I think provides visually more pleasing images than trying to zoom in, which I think is better suited when you're optimally positioned behind the camera. Again, many confirmations that the sound is fine. Glad to hear that. What we saw land just now was a 777-200 from KLM coming in from Rio de Janeiro. The airplane was 19 years old, is 19 years old, delivered in November 2003. Next up is another E2 Embraer 195, this one coming in from Göteborg. And the airplane you're about to see is 1 year old, delivered in October 2021. If you're new to the channel and you're liking what you're seeing, consider subscribing if you haven't done so already. It allows you to turn on notifications so that whenever I go live in the future you receive a heads up and can join us if you have the time for it and are feeling like it. It also helps me to reach more people like you and me who are into content like this, so please subscribe if you like what you're seeing. We are waiting for today's Emirates A380 Super. If you missed it on Saturday, you are in for a treat because the destination Dubai special livery A380 once again underway to the Netherlands. The only if and only uncertainty at the moment is whether or not it's going to come to this runway. When I write, what we are standing at now is open for business throughout the day, but depending on how busy it gets for inbound traffic, Schiphol also opens runway 27, and given the fact that the A380 is coming into the Netherlands from the east, it makes 27 the more logical runway to land on if it is open by the time the A380 reaches Dutch airspace. Still out for another 40 minutes or so, so we'll have to see, but that is basically the only thing that is keeping us from seeing her land. Next up, an Embraer 190 from KLM coming in from Brussels, and after that an A330-300 from KLM coming in from Calgary. The Embraer 190 coming in now, KLM flight 1720, 5 years old, delivered in February 2018, short half-hour flight, and behind it the A330-300 from KLM, flight 678, coming in from Calgary, Canada. The airplane, the A330, is 8 years old and was delivered in October 2014. And yes, Jerry, the other spotters have left, so apart from the person on the moped that just passed me, I am more or less the only one out here at the moment. Kosse, goedemorgen vriend. Alles goed man? Even though the ergonomics are not optimal, I think also starting to figure out the best way to follow these airplanes. Are we at 2,000 subscribers already, Ina? Oh, wow. Well, was it a month ago that we reached the 1,000 subscriber mark? It's going quickly. Thank you all so much for subscribing, people. Really thrilled that the channel is growing the way it is. So here's the A380 from KLM coming in from Calgary. Not a whole lot of reverse thrust being applied there. So let's turn around the camera back to the north. Hey Chris, thank you so much for your super chat. I could definitely do with a cup of hot tea. And thank you for the congratulations, Jose. And Jerry, you're welcome. This is also fun for me, and also it opens up more opportunities if everything works out with streaming in the rain. I'm fortunate that it isn't too cold and it isn't too windy, otherwise it would be much more tough to stick around. For now it's doable. The major issue I keep having, and I've said it before, so regular viewers will already know this, but when temperatures are a bit lower, the first thing that I get is cold hands, and I already have my hand warmer with me in one of my pockets, and it helps to keep things warm a bit, but still hard when your fingers get stiff from the cold to keep operating properly. I'll shut up now because KLM flight 622 is coming in. 7878 Dreamliner coming in from Atlanta, Georgia. 5 years old, delivered in July 2017, and airborne now and almost touching down after 7 hours and 14 minutes. Where is she? Oh, there. Thought it was further ahead already. I see it's the sleeve of my parka that causes the image shifts on the laptops, on the phones, on my telephone screen. I have to enter my arm under the rain cover in a certain way, and that's in the proximity of the screen of the telephone. Okay, next up, EasyJet flight 26771. There was a droplet on the one, but it's a one. An A319 coming in from Belfast in Ireland, of course, and or is it Northern Ireland? Well, let's not go too much into detail. It's coming in from Belfast after an hour and 3 minutes of flight. The airplane we're about to see is 11 years old, delivered in July 2011. Behind it is going to be another 777-200ER flight 767 from KLM coming in from Bonaire. 8 hours and 36 minutes of flight, and the triple is 18 years old. First up, an A319 from EasyJet, if I'm able to spot it on my little camera monitor. Am I missing it? Has it passed already? I think I'm still struggling to find the right place to point my camera to, where you can see it as it is about to touch down. You have to understand that my 3-inch camera monitor is already small under normal circumstances, but now it's positioned on the side, to the side of my camera, and there is a rain cover in front of it. It is clear plastic, but it has a lot of rain droplets on it, and it also reflects light from the ambient surrounding, so it's double hard to look at it properly. Maybe if I push it a bit further and I can get closer by the camera, maybe that helps. Oh yeah, there it is. So this is the 777-200ER coming in from Bonaire. Awesome. Photo for you informing us that the A380 is 17 minutes out at the moment. Sorry that I haven't been able to catch up with all of your chats. It is a bit multitasking over here. Jivo, good morning, welcome to the stream. And Cafe Spotter, good morning to you too, hope you're well. Good to see you again. Aquas, good morning. Raymond Brakke, good morning. A lot of people joined, but unfortunately I wasn't able to see everybody's messages. Apologies for that. Hey Wendy, good morning. Now Gosse, we need to look into a dual microphone setup so that you can also drop by sometime. As a former pilot, I'm sure you have some interesting things to say to all the viewers. Here we see another KLM Embraer. Here too, no application of the... Oh! I call things too soon. I called the landing of the Airbus from EasyJet too soon. After 2 touchdowns, it still went around last Monday, a week ago, when it was storming. And I was about to call no usage of reverse thrust. And then they deployed it, only briefly. So let's turn around the camera. Visibility is getting a bit poor for the camera. Struggling with finding focus. Where is the airplane? Probably already further ahead. Let me zoom out. Yeah, there we go. Now, if you look closely, you see that this is still the old livery KLM. That's a subtle difference, but you'll see it if you look more closely. Paul Usher, good morning. Not sure if I already greeted you. If I forgot people, I am so sorry. If I already greeted you, I'm also sorry. It is a bit more involved being out in the rain. Let's have a look at flight radar. Seems that we will have to wait a few minutes before the next plane arrives. By the looks of it, it's going to be an Embraer 175 from LOT and a Boeing 737 from KLM is following it. There's also a 737 from Transavia underway and the Emirates A380 Super. I don't see any traffic inbound for runway 27. If the Emirates stays on its present course, it's going to come this way, and I think it will, by the looks of it. Seems like the Emirates A380 is going to come this way. If you missed it live last Saturday, then you've got just under 15 minutes or so left to go to the bathroom if you need to go, but make sure you're back behind the screen once it comes over here. Wind is also picking up a little bit. Not a lot to see at the moment, other than ducks in the distance. Folks, if you're new to the channel and you haven't done so already, consider subscribing to the channel. It allows you to turn on notifications so that whenever I go live in the future, you receive a heads up and can join us if you have the time for it and are feeling like it. Also, it helps me greatly to reach more people like you and me who are also into content like this. And the world of aviation enthusiasts is a very large one. We've only just begun to reach them all, and your subscription will help greatly to do so. So, by the looks of it, well, I'm not sure yet. I think the Transavia 737 might arrive before. Well, it's going to be a close one to see if the A380 is going to be number 3 or if it's going to be number 4. Hard for me to see if the Transavia 737 now flying over Leiden approximately. I think that might even be first. We'll see. We'll see. Ciao Michele, come stai? Verona, Italy. Hope things are better over there in terms of the weather than over here. So oh, Laura, go ahead, making a list of some planes that are flying. By all means, drop them in the chat if you want to. I'm sure, and most people, if not everybody, will appreciate it greatly. Let me have a look. See a little bit, or a few droplets on my camera lens, and a few droplets on the foam of the camera, of the microphone that is sticking out in the front of the rain cover, but nothing too severe by the looks of it. Also looking on my laptop screen to see what you guys are seeing. Seems that the few droplets that are on the lens are not interfering with visibility for you guys, so I'm very pleased with that. So that's 1 hour in the rain now, non-stop rain. By the looks of it, it's still holding up. Has anybody experienced any buffering issues? We did have a few people the other week who were experiencing that temporarily at some point in time when I was standing over here. Haven't seen any chats indicating so far, so no buffering, Kathleen says. Excellent, excellent. So seems like the test run is a great success so far. So now out just a few minutes still and will become visible shortly. Lot flight 263. It is in the retro livery, the same one we saw doing a go around and then diverting to Düsseldorf during the storm last week. Coming in from Warsaw, as was the case for the one last week. That is 1 hour, and the airplane we're about to see, 12 years old, delivered in April 2010. If I wipe away the rain droplets on my telephone screen now, let me make sure that you guys can see it as much in advance as possible. I think I have it. There she is. Retro livery, ladies and gentlemen. Lot coming in from Warsaw. It's like we're going back in time. Beautiful machine. I think most special liveries that are retro look very nice. I wish that operators would do that more often. More retro liveries. Little nostalgia. And now flight radar is enormously zoomed out, so let me zoom back in. Okay, next up is a Boeing 737-900 coming in from Rome, from KLM. 2 hours of flight almost. The airplane 21 years old, delivered in August 2001. The Transavia 737 will be number 2, and the Emirates A380 Super in the special destination Dubai livery will be number 3 and is now turning final. So buckle up, ladies and gentlemen, she is about to arrive in a few minutes. First two 737s. First KLM and then Transavia. another pilot in a hurry. I have to turn the camera around much quicker than with the other airplanes. Let me turn the camera back around. So next up, Transavia flight 5132 coming in from Barcelona, also almost 2 hours airborne now. The airplane we're about to see, 7 years old, delivered in February 2016. You still have a few minutes to grab a fresh cup of coffee. But the Emirates A380 in the special livery is very much approaching, so be quick. If you need to go to the bathroom, maybe it's better to hold it up. I think this is approximately the general area where they become visible. Ergonomically not the best position. Have to crouch a little. But that's why this is a test stream, to learn how to improve. And there is the Transavia. Now where is it? I saw it on my laptop. Hard to see it on my... Ah, there she is. Easier to see if I look back, if I turn around, look back on the bigger image, the footage that I have on my laptop. But then I have to make sure that I am back at the knobs of the camera before it is too late. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, buckle up. The next plane to arrive will be the Emirates A380 Super in the special livery, destination Dubai. I will do my utmost best to give you the best footage I can. She should be easier for me to recognize on my little camera screen, being a lot bigger than the previous planes. Let me get a frame of reference. So over here. Okay, quickly. Emirates flight 147, destination Dubai livery, 6.5 hours underway. The airplane we're about to see, 7 years old, delivered in July 2015. And she's coming in from Dubai. But that is something you guys already knew. You can see her now. I'll make her out on the video screen. Where is she? Where is she? Ah, there she is. Yes. Perfect. Now folks, if you like what you saw just now and you haven't done so already, consider subscribing to the channel. It allows you to turn on notifications so that you receive a notification whenever I go live in the future. And if you have the time for it and are feeling like it, you can join us during future streams, and it also helps me greatly to reach more people like you and me who are also into content like this. So that was today's Emirates A380 Super in a special livery. Next up, an A320 from EasyJet, and after that a 737 from Turkish, and after that number 3 is today's 787-10 Dreamliner coming in from LAX. First up will be flight 27007 from EasyJet coming in from Liverpool, airborne now for 50 minutes, and the airplane you're about to see, 13 years old, delivered in June 2009. Hi there, Glenn, checking in from England. Weather must feel very familiar for you then. All other viewers who have meanwhile joined us, thank you so much for joining us, and welcome to AMS Live. My name is Boy, and I am testing my gear in the rain today, particularly the sound. I already heard from a lot of you in the chat that the sound quality is decent today. So I'm looking forward to see that for myself when I get back home. Also, the ergonomics is a little bit different from operating under dry conditions because there's now a big rain cover over my camera and my microphone, and that makes operating the camera more difficult, and also something that I take lessons from, such as tripod elevation, which is now too low for comfort, but something to take into consideration next time I'm going out in the rain. Now, coming in, probably a bit further ahead already, Anadolu Jet, coming in from Istanbul. Where is she? Probably already further ahead. Yeah, figure that. Also, the position of my camera screen is the orientation different from operating under normal conditions. I'm now standing on the left side of my camera, which makes panning also a bit more involved because I have to walk around my tripod more than normally would be the case if I'm standing behind it, where you can stretch out your arm more and walk in the meantime. So all things that hopefully will make the user experience for you guys better if in the future I go out again during the rain. Now next up, coming in, will be KLM Flight 604, a Boeing 787-10 Dreamliner, the biggest of the bunch, coming in from LAX after a flight of 9 hours and 43 minutes. The airplane is 2 years old, delivered in May 2020. Now, some of you, there will probably be people amongst you that know better than I, but if I look at the size, I would say that this 787-10 is not that much smaller anymore than the 777s, maybe even a tad bit bigger. I have already removed the Indian lady from the chat. More subtle than Tinder XXX, but still not wanted over here. So toodledokie to you. Alright, let's have a look at flight radar. Let's see what's coming in next. Next will be an Embraer 190 from KLM. Well, it has the markings of KLM, KL1856, but it says German Airways, so probably a different airplane, but a KLM flight. It's coming in from Düsseldorf, also a short flight, 27 minutes ago departed, and the airplane we're about to see, 16 years old, delivered in January 2007. And let me have a look. Everything still seems to be working well. 2 garbage bags over my power station, and tucking in the innermost also helps to keep everything dry on the inside over there. Let me have a look in my laptop tent. All things dry, got everything including my laptop elevated, so even if there was water coming in my tent, it's still not going to affect the electronics. Miguel Pacheco, good morning. How are things in Uruguay? Now, apologies for perhaps not being able to respond to each of your chats. It is a bit more involved to operate the camera and look at everything in the rain. Probably also a learning curve, so we'll get better if I do it more, but my apologies if you guys were trying to interact with me and I missed your message and didn't respond. It's not out of bad will. Unlike a lot of other aircraft spotting, airplane spotting channels that operate in duos, I am a one-man band, and it sometimes can get a little involved. Now it's still raining over here, as you guys can tell. It looks like it's going to stay that way for the remainder of the day. Let me have a look at the weather radar. By the way, last Saturday I was just in time with my gear packed up back to my car before it started raining, and as I drove back home, it really fell down quite heavily. It was short-lived. The rest of the afternoon it was sunny again, so all in all it wasn't as bad as it was looking on the weather radar initially, but I still would have gotten significantly wet if I had stayed. Was just in time. So, but we were able to see the same A380 that we did just now. If I look around me, it also seems that things are opening up a little, but if I look at the weather radar, there's only more precipitation coming, and it's, although yeah, no, there is a lighter patch in it, so that's why it might seem that it is getting a little bit brighter, at least for me visually out here. But the rain is not expected to stop just yet. And thanks for the words of encouragement, Yorkshire Biker, Christy D and Roadhog. I do my best to give you the best user experience I can. Now, I have to say, so far, a valuable day. Learned some interesting things about the ergonomics and the operation over here. Now if I look at my camera lens, other than the few droplets that were on it already, and the sun screen, the little thing, the equivalent of the matte box of Cine cameras, have a few droplets on it. The top side of the foam around the little front piece of the shotgun mic that is sticking out of the camera, out of the rain cover, is also has a few droplets on it, but the construction of the tent is such that it should provide a little bit of cover. Of course, that will not give it full protection, but I am pleasantly surprised by the way things are holding up. So I am standing on a USB cable that was white and now is a bit brown because of the mud that forms if you stand in the grass over here and it's raining and you walk back and forth around your tripod like I'm doing to pan left and right. You get some muddiness. The grass gets somewhat trampled on and it gets more muddy, so when I get home I will have to clean the cables a little bit, but everything seems to be holding up. Even the USB cable that is in my smartphone, that is somewhat protected from the rain but not completely. Now the smartphone is a OnePlus 6 and it is waterproof for rain and stuff, so I'm not worried about that. It's just that there is a power station powering everything, so the USB cable is a potential weak spot, but so far it seems to be holding up quite nicely. The next plane is also approaching fast. If I look at flight radar, top flight 674, Top Air Portugal, coming in from Lisbon, an A320-200, departed 2.5 hours ago. The airplane we're about to see is 13 years old, delivered in November 2009, and looking to become number 2 will be LATAM Cargo, coming in from Miami. The Boeing 767-300ER, airborne now for 7 hours and 42 minutes. The airplane, the 767 we are about to see, 14 years old, delivered in May 2008. But first up, the A320 from Top Air Portugal, coming in from Lisbon. I can see it visually, but still hard for me to make out on the camera screen. Got it. Seems to be landing without the landing lights on. So either the lights are dim or not working, or they didn't do their checklist completely, or maybe they thought that visibility was good enough that they weren't needed. Which would be an interesting opinion. Spoilers lowered, the airplane vacating the runway over here, the first exit of the runway. Let's quickly turn around, don't want to miss the LATAM Cargo 767, overshot. Okay, that's the general direction I need to point the camera in. And they probably did miss part of the checklist, Kathleen. Oh, Kathleen, thank you so much for your very generous super chat. Really, really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Yeah, if one of the lights were malfunctioning, you would probably see at least a few of the lights on. So either they missed it on the checklist, or they consciously decided to override it for whatever reason. Didn't think it was necessary. But I think it's a standard item in the checklist that before landing you turn on the landing lights. Anyway, now coming in, LATAM Cargo flight 1501, Boeing 767-300ER, coming in from Miami, Florida. After a flight of 7 hours and 44 minutes, the airplane we're about to see, 14 years old, delivered in May 2008. Let me see if I can catch her early and also see the touchdown zoomed in. I hope the rain cover doesn't make too much noise when I put my hand under it and go reach for the zoom toggle switch. I think if I do this, you guys hear a lot of noise. That was just me tapping from within to the outside of the rain cover. Makes the camera a bit, the microphone a bit more sensitive. And there she is, I think. Yep. And here all the lights are on. Like James Bond turning on the smoke from the exhaust to get away from the people chasing him, so does the 767 apply reverse thrust to make it vanish into the mist of the spray that we saw just now. Beautiful. Hope you guys heard it as well as I did over here. Hope that the rain cover didn't affect that too much, because it was a very lovely noisy landing with generous application of the thrust reversers. Hey Benjamin, thanks for the encouragement. I'm doing my best, and also I'm out here a little bit for myself, not only because I like, of course, very much what I'm doing, also to make sure that everything works properly, so that if it's raining, it's not a reason not to go out. So next up, and let me first make sure that the camera is pointed in the right direction. Next up, Aer Lingus flight 604 coming in from Dublin, Ireland. 1 hour and 4 minutes on their way. An A320-200 that is 18 years old, delivered in July 2004. Just becoming visible visually. You guys can probably see her already on the screen, although I'm still struggling to see it on my camera monitor. Oh yeah, now I see her as well. There you go. Another nice spray application by the A320 vacating at the first exit over here. Okay. Next up will be an A320neo from EasyJet coming in from London Luton. Departed 35 minutes ago. The aircraft we're about to see, 3 years old, delivered in June 2019. And let me put the camera back in the general direction. It should be good. Hey, Joao Lopez Esteves, good morning, welcome to the stream. All other viewers who have meanwhile joined us, welcome to AMS Live. My name is Boy. This is a test stream where I'm checking to see how my equipment holds up during rainy weather. Also learning about the ergonomics, making notes so that next time I'll be out when it's raining, I can provide an even better user experience. At the moment my tripod is a bit too low, which means that I have to crouch and also walk around the tripod, so it's a bit more difficult for me to give smooth footage than normally would be the case when the monitor of the camera is positioned in a different way, and makes it easier for me to follow the airplanes left to right. However, it's all a learning curve, and I could do a private stream and just check the sound at home. That's what I was interested in the most, to see if having a rain cover over my camera and most part of my shotgun mic, if it affects the sound quality of airplanes passing by too much or not. So far I haven't been disappointed. A lot of you guys have already confirmed that it is okay, if not good. Look forward to check that when I get back home again. I won't be streaming for too much longer though. I think I have gathered a lot of data already. Now let me see what is coming up. So there is a 777-200 coming in from Guayaquil that is almost, it's still over the North Sea, but it is approaching the west coast of the Netherlands fast, so definitely something to stick around for. If I look to the east, I can also see a 777 from Qatar coming in from Doha. So those are definitely two planes I want to stick around for. I think I will wrap it up for today after that. I went out later than I normally do when I go stream in the mornings. It was just intended to be a short stream, but I figured, hey, if I'm doing some testing, I might as well go live publicly and also share it with you guys, knowing that at least it will be decent enough that you guys won't run away screaming what the F happened to his quality. But yeah, this has been a very insightful day for me in terms of what I need to improve next time I'm going out in the rain. Mostly has to do with my own ergonomics, but you have to take into consideration that operating the camera is a bit different from what it is when it is dry. You see, yeah, I've got 2 garbage bags over my power supply, and that works a treat. Hardly any water in it, but water, a few droplets that are in it are contained to the outer garbage bag. The inner garbage bag I have tucked in more, so it is a very secure configuration. Now I think, where is it? Is it passed already? No, not yet. One of the things much more difficult than under dry circumstances is making out the airplanes. Not only is there a rain cover full of droplets in front of my little screen, visibility just in general out here is of course also reduced compared to when it is clear, providing much less contrast for me to aim the camera to, or at least give me an indication of where I need to be with my camera. So let's see, first up will be a Boeing 737-800 from KLM coming in from Milan, and I think the 777 from inbound from Guayaquil will be number 2 if I look more closely. So the 737-800 we are waiting for now, KLM flight 1620 coming in from Milan, Italy, 737-800, airborne now for 1 hour and 21 minutes according to flight radar. The airplane 3 years old, delivered in December 2019. 737 800. Overshooting, back to the right, zoom out a little bit. Alright, let's see. Next up is KLM flight 755. It is a Boeing 777-200ER coming in from Guayaquil, departed 10 hours and 51 minutes ago. And the airplane we're about to see is 15 years old, delivered in April 2007. Folks, if you're new to the channel and you're liking what you're seeing, consider subscribing if you haven't done so already. It helps me to reach more people like you and me who are also into content like this, and it allows you to turn on notifications so that whenever I go live in the future you can get a notification and join us if you feel like it and have the time for it. So we're now waiting for the 777-200 inbound from Guayaquil to appear out of the mist. Is not the right word, but Place. Thank you so much for your kind words. Very much appreciated. Now I'm checking back and forth visually and also on my laptop screen to make sure that I don't miss it, but the flight radar says it's nearby. Still don't see it just yet. Oh yeah, I see it visually now. The lights become visible. Is it also on the screen? It is, and it is in the center approximately. So let me see. I think I have it. Very, very disappointing in the spray department there. I had hoped for a much more visually appearing spectacle, but also I didn't hear a lot of the reverse thrust being applied. Somewhat disappointing. Hopefully the Qatar pilots will do better in a few moments from now. Let me have a look. Janet, oh, I will do my best not to get sick. I just cleared a common cold infection I had a week ago with a lot of dry coughing and a bit of a stuffy nose, but I'm packed in well. I'm not cold, only my hands get a little cold at the moment, but I have several layers on. Got my rain pants on, my Wellingtons on, so I should be okay. And let's see, hard to make out the airplane. Where is it? Oh, there it is, it's right in the middle of the screen. Ah, yeah. Hard to make those little airplanes out when they are still semi-obscured by the weather. Also small on my camera screen. And not a lot of spray as well, either from the Transavia pilots. Bit of a letdown. Exiting at the first exit. So let me have a look at flight radar. We have 2 narrow bodies coming in, and number 3 is going to be the 777 from Qatar coming in from Doha. First up is going to be an Embraer 190 from KLM coming in from Stockholm. It is flight 1108, departed an hour and 40 minutes ago. The airplane 11 years old, delivered in January 2012, and behind it is going to be an Embraer 175 coming in from Humberside, KLM flight 1486, departed 35 minutes ago, and the airplane, the second airplane, number 2, 6 years old, delivered in January 2017, and number 3 will be the Qatar 777 coming in from Doha, the details of which I will tell you a little later. Now, where is it? There it is. Well, the Embraer 190, a calm, uneventful landing. Let's see if the Embraer 175 behind it from Humberside will do better. So the plane coming in is the Embraer 175 coming in from Humberside. The airplane you're about to see, 6 years old, delivered in January 2017. Jeffrey getting concerned with the ducks. Let me see if I can show you in a minute. First, let's see the Embraer. Has already touched down. Hard to make out. Now, I think the ducks are over there, further in the distance. Or are they more closer by? Hard for me to see them. My screen is hard to look at because of rain droplets. Let me see if that makes it a little better. And here already This is the triple from Qatar, coming in from Doha. No time to waste. Touching down in the distance. Wow, got a tremendous amount of reverse thrust and spray. Guess it wasn't meant to be. Well folks, I am going to wrap it up for today. It was a test stream and not the intention to stick around as long as I normally would, but I still was able to hopefully give you some nice footage for almost 2 hours. Now I will not be able to go out again before Friday or maybe even during the weekend, so I will keep you updated, and when I go live I will notify you in YouTube. I want to thank everybody for joining me here today. The turn up was bigger than I had anticipated, so thank you all for joining me. If you like what you saw and you haven't subscribed already, consider doing so. It allows you to turn on notifications so that whenever I go live in the future you receive a heads up and can join us for future streams. It also helps me to reach more people like you and me who are also into content like this. There are still a great many out there that we haven't reached with AMS Live, and it would be awesome if you guys could help me do that. So enjoy the week, enjoy the Monday. Hope you guys stay well, and I will see you again at the next one. Bye for now.